Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. A while ago, I shared some of my favorite Excel shortcuts in part 1 and guess what? It got over 400 views. Thank you so much. So here I am with part 2 bringing you even more time-saving Excel shortcuts to make your work faster and easier. Now let's dive right in and unlock some more Excel magic with the part 2. Have you ever typed a number starting with 0 in Excel but the 0 just disappears? Like this, when I type 0, 1, 2, 3, 0 disappears, 0, 4, 5, 6, 0 disappears, and it can be really frustrating, especially when you're working with data like zip codes and IDs. But it's an easy fix. Go to the file, click on the options, go to the data and uncheck this remove leading zeros and convert to a number. Now when you type 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 4, 5, 6, Excel will keep them exactly as you want. Problem solved. Most of us move rows or columns in the Excel the long way. Suppose if I want day 2 before day 1, first I will insert a new and then copy day 2 and paste it and then delete the day 1. It works, but it takes a lot of time. The simple way is just select the row. Suppose I want day 2 before day 1, I'll select it. I will hold the shift key and I'll move my cursor to the edge and you can see the cursor is changing and then I'll drag it and the thick line comes here and I drop it. It's done. If I want to do 2 at a time or 3 at a time, I can highlight those, hold the shift key and then I can move the cursor wherever I want. Thick green line, drop it, it's done. And if you want cleaning before fuel, you can do the same thing. Highlight this, hold shift key, drop it, it's done. No copying, no deleting, just a smooth move in seconds. I have so many sheets open in this workbook and finding something specific means endless scrolling for me through all the tabs. On top of that, I need to figure it out which of this sheet has a chart in it, making it even more frustrating and time consuming for me. But here is an easy fix. You can go to the view, click on the navigation pane, and now you will see all your sheet names listed in a vertical pane on this side. The best part, you can simply click on any sheet and it will straight jump to that sheet. And since I told you I'm looking for a sheet where I have a chart in it, I can just type here chart and it will give me all the sheets which has chart in it. So sheet 4 has a chart in it. I just need to click here and boom, it gets me to there. No more scrolling or guessing, just quick and simple navigation. I have this data and I want to add a percentages on these numbers. Simple, what I will do is I'll select this, go to the home and click on percentage thinking it will work, but it doesn't work like that. Second process is I can do it manually by going every cell and adding percentage, which is highly time consuming and frustrating. The easiest way is in any part of the Excel, just add 1.00%. Either you can add 1 or 1.00%, copy it by Ctrl C, again select your data, press Ctrl Alt V, a dialog box will open, click on the multiply and say OK, and it's done within seconds. And now if you want to delete this, you can delete this number. I have this data and I want to print it. Simple, I'll do Ctrl P and I can print it. But the problem is first page has the header, second page doesn't have, third page doesn't have, and so on. But it's an easy fix. Just select this, the header, first row, and come to the name box. This is your name box. Write print underscore titles titles, enter. Now when I do Ctrl P, all my pages will have headers. First, second, third, fourth. Now suppose if I want first and second to repeat every time on all the pages, first I can go to the formulas, click on the name manager and delete this which I have already written. Okay, I'll say okay. Now I'll select first and second, again come to the name box, print underscore titles titles, enter. And now when I say Ctrl P, you can see serial number and first one, second page serial number and first one. So every page will have these two. I have these addresses and I want to print labels for it. Now the problem is it's in this way. So if I want to print label, I have to go for after every comma, press Alt and enter, it comes down. Again press Alt and enter, it comes down and it looks like this. Now it looks like a printing label format, but I can't do it for each and every single line like this. It's a time consuming process. The easiest way is select all, press Ctrl H, find what you want to find comma and you want to replace it with line. And how to get line? The shortcut is Ctrl J. And now you can see I'm not putting my cursor here, but you can see a blink happening here. So it means that it is selected. Now do a replace all. Say OK and now come to home, click on the wrap text, this one, again wrap it and you got it. Now you can print it. So I have this huge data I'm working on. Now the problem is when I move to the right, the headers are gone, and when I move down, the above headers are gone. Now let's first fix that. First decide what all you need. I want this one to be visible whenever I move anywhere, and I want this two to be visible whenever I move anywhere. So what I will do, I'll put my cursor here because I want this two and the above line. I'll put my cursor here, come to the view, click on the freeze pane and take the first one. Now this is done. Now when I move down, you can see the above headers are there, and when I move right, you can see the employee name and expense type are also there along with the above header. Okay, this is how you will use a freeze pane. And now again I'm working on this data and I want to compare the day 5 with day 25. Now when I move to day 25, day 5 is not visible, and when I move to day 5, day 20 will not be visible. Now to fix that, easily what you can do is again come to the view, click on the split screen. When you click on the split screen, you see this dark lines are there, right? Now take this line and you want to compare it with fifth, right? Just just click on 5th. Now what happens is like this is there. Again, there's a split screen for the same data you have from day 1. Now I can easily move day 25. Let's take day 25 I want to see. Now I can easily compare day 25 with day 5. If I want to compare day 23 or day 21, I can compare easily. Okay. And if I do any changes here, it will reflect here also. Suppose if I do a change on day 23, I'll select all this and say bold. And now I'll click on the split screen. You can see day 23, right? I'll click on a split screen. In my original data on the day 23, you will see the highlighted ones. So this is how you can use a split screen if you have a huge data and you want to compare two at a time. Now I have two data, Jan 2024 and Jan 2025. First rule is both the sheets should have same amount of entries and same amount of headers. Okay. Once that is sorted, now the goal is you want to do some formatting changes in Jan 2024 and exactly those formatting changes you want to do in Jan 2025 as well. And both you can do at a time. How? Let's start. The first step is select Jan 2024, press Ctrl and select Jan 2025. Now you see these both are highlighted. That means these both are selected. Now if you want to unselect, again press Ctrl and click on Jan 2025. It is unselected. Now suppose if Jan 2025 was somewhere after this, what you can do is you can just press this one, Ctrl and this one. So only these two are highlighted. And when to select shift, now suppose from Jan 2024 to Jan 2025, you want all these 4 sheets to be selected. Then at that point of time, you don't have to press Ctrl. Just press shift and click on Jan 2025. All this will be highlighted. And if you want to uncheck, just uncheck all and it's done. So that is the first process I was showing you how to select it. Now I'll press Ctrl, select Jan 2024. Since it is very far away, I'll again press Ctrl and click Jan 2025. These both are selected. Now I'll do a formatting. Formatting, what I want to do, I want to go to the view and remove grid line. I want to select all this. Suppose I want to do a bold. I want to give this one and I want to select all this and make it in a proper alignment. I want to do this and do a highlight and I want to do a sum which is equal to sum open bracket. I'll select all this and I'll write total here. Now you can see what all I did in Jan 2024. Jan 2025 is also done in the same way. You got the totals, you got all the highlightings, you have removed the grid lines, and this is how you can use. Now I have Jan 2024 and Jan 2025 in the same workbook. Now suppose if I want to compare Jan 2024 and Jan 2025, it becomes very difficult for me because I have to change every time for each and every line item. Now the easiest way is come to the view, click on new window, the same file is open as a new. Now again go back to previous file and click on arrange all and click on vertical, say okay. Now what happens is like same copy of the file is here now, and now you can click here Jan 2024 and you can click on Jan 2025 here and you can do a comparison. Once you are done with the comparison, you can straight away close this and then it's done. You got this file and you want to work on. Now the problem is with the alignment. If you see this is not proper, you have to do a double click and see what it is. Again, you have to come here, do a double click and see what it is. Likewise, you have to do for every column and it's a time taking process. So don't do one by one. What you can do is between 1 and 8, you can see this drop down, select it, it selects all. Now anywhere here, come here and do a double click and everything is arranged at once. You don't have to do it manually again and again. Thank you so much. If you like all this shortcut, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.